Top of the third here at Comiskey Park. The White Sox lead 1-0. And the NBA playoffs begin next week, and the Chicago Bulls are winding down their great season, ready for a run at the title. Catch the Bulls in action tomorrow night at 7:30 when they host Washington. Then Friday night at 7 when they visit the Boston Celtics. It's the Bulls on Thursday and Friday right here on Sports Channel. Because you know what? Our season never ends.
How about Michael go come out and take a little BP one day?
He will. That might draw a crowd.
I'll tell you,
We'll be here to watch that.
Oh, for sure. See what Jerry Reinsdorf said. Anybody hits him loses their job.
Talk about pressure.
No, I wouldn't throw it. I wouldn't throw it.
Thank you.
Here's the Red Sox catcher, Tony Pena. It'll be Pena, Reed, and Kutcher to face the big, tall, thin right-hander Jack McDowell. Tony off to a good start, 357. That's a base hit. Robin broke over to his left a little bit, and Calderon quickly gets it back in.
That's just a real bad breaking ball right there. That hung right about belt high, just kind of spun up there. I think Jack is trying to establish that breaking ball so he can have something else to go to in a situation other than the fastball, which has been working for him very nicely.
Pena 2 for 4 last night, so he's 3 for 5 in these 2 games thus far. As the shortstop, Jody Reed, steps in.
Well, you're right. Ventura did break to his left. He may have saw the angle of Pena's bat going in one direction and kind of which influenced his first move.
Well, you know, you don't know what Tony Pena is going to do with a bat.
That's
we saw
right.
that last night. You know, and you've got to be a good third baseman. You've got to anticipate. All good third basemen, your Brooks Robinson and your Greg Nettles, all these guys. You know, it's just an instinct. They see the pitch, they see the reaction of the hitter, and once that bat starts to move, they start to move. Sometimes you're going to get burned because you get a guy like Pena up there who last night was, you know, swinging to the left and looking to center and hitting to right.
Yeah.
What McDowell's got to do right here, though, is when he does make a mistake with that breaking ball, he's got to come back. This is a very veteran and experienced Red Sox offensive club. There goes Pena. Didn't run on, worked to a T as he will stop as Sammy Sosa gets it back in a hurry.
Great execution right there by Jody Reed. Sosa almost caught that ball. He hit it so hard, and Sammy playing shallow for Jody almost made the play as it carried out there. There you see Pena off to the races. Jody Reed can handle the bat very well, does not strike off very often. And there you see Sammy coming on. You don't run on this guy's arm.
A little bit of a double-edged sword right there, it seems to me, for Joe Morgan, the Red Sox skipper. Is the fact that Jody Reed off to a slow start. The club, as we mentioned, they've lost 4 out of 5, and with nobody out, starts Tony Pena, maybe making Jody Reed swing the bat a little bit. So now, Randy Kutcher, Sox expecting the bunt, corners coming in.
Well, the idea here is to throw that high fastball and make them bunt in the air so they can get the out. But that one was about head high.
Run on 3 hits for the White Sox. No runs on 3 hits for the Red Sox. The Red Sox threatening right here in the top of the third. Another piece of Fisk. You know, over his career, I have never seen a catcher get hit more than Carlton Fisk. And really, it's very simple. First of all, he's been back there so much.
Right.
And the next thing is he's just so massive, he occupies so much space.
He's so big. You very seldom see a catcher over 6 feet tall and punches, well, 6'3", right at least 6'3".
You know, people don't realize how big he is if they've never seen him. He is huge.
That's right. He takes up a lot of space back there. And he's going to get hit his share. Golly, I couldn't even imagine how many times he has been hit by foul tips.
1-1 the count. Ventura and Walker, the corners, they're coming in. There's a quick snap throw. This is the toughest. This is absolutely the toughest play for a base runner in baseball. Bunt situation. When you're the lead man at second base, I'll tell you, that's when you. I used to hate that when I was at second base.
Yeah.
When a guy bunts through the ball, and all of a sudden if you don't have the good speed, then you got to try to make sure where the corner's coming in, you get the good lead, and all of a sudden you get out no man's land. Oh, watch out! Oh, almost took his mustache off. Meanwhile, Jackson a big hole right here, 3-1.
Well, let's see. Take another look at it. Kutcher turning completely around. Those are the guys that get hit because you got nowhere to run to when you're completely square to the pitcher. I like those guys that just kind of turn their body. That's the way I always tried to bunt. When you turn that whole body around, you're leaving yourself wide open to get hit.
Do what Joe Morgan wants to do. He still has it on.
Yes.
And a strike. Jackson.
I think that means hit right there.
Rack slider, the third base coach.
Rack slider. It's like a comic strip character, doesn't it? You think they're going?
I would doubt it. I would
too.
They do not go. As he walks him, he faked the bunt. McDowell wanted to strike. Holy mackerel. That'll load him up with nobody out.
Ooh, that was a big pitch right there. Jack McDowell did not get the call from Terry Cooney, and a lot of times that happens when you're struggling to find the plate and you ace a guy in a big situation. A lot of times that umpire will not give you the call.
Yes, sir. If you're 2-0, 3-1 to everybody, you won't get too many. Let's take another look right here. That's a strike.
Yes, it is.
That's a strike.
It's right there. It wasn't low.
Here's Boggs. Outfield swung well around to the left. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, the numbers on Wade Boggs show that 69% of the balls that he puts in play are to the opposite field, meaning to the left field side of second base.
Throw it inside and the count 1-1. There's Tony Pena. He's at third. There's Jody Reed is at second. And Randy Kutcher at first. That's popped up. And it's going out of play as Calderon gives chase. So McDowell on top in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. There you see double barrel activity down in the Sox pen. Southpaw Kenny Patterson and Bill Long. Boggs, 31-year-old veteran. Fisk said, look, we got on top of this guy. And let's don't do anything that's crazy here. As Sammy Ellis, the pitching coach, right behind Ron Clark. There's his boat. Let's try to make a good pitch. We got a couple pitches here we can try to make a good pitch with. There's Boggs, 274 lifetime against the White Sox here at Comiskey Park. That's the second lowest of his total. Oh, nice pitch. Nice pitch.
That's the best breaking ball that Jack has thrown.
2-2.
Oh, that's a biter right here. It looked good. Of course, that's Wade Boggs hitting, and generally when he doesn't swing, it's a ball. There's 2 tough calls on for McDowell this inning.
Base hit. Back through the middle. Boy, I'll tell you, it seems like it happens every time as Pena scores, Reed scores, Kutcher in the third, and it's a 2-1 Red Sox lead. Mercy.
Well, the only thing you can do now is battle back. Another look at it. It's a fastball down, but Boggs gets the head of the bat out. You can see Jack McDowell not in very good fielding position. He wasn't squared up to the batter. So that ball gets by him in a hurry. Ball's hit back at you. If you're squared up, you got a chance. You become an instant infielder. That time it failed, so the Red Sox are on top here 2-1. Still runners at the corners and nobody out.
It's hard to give Wade Boggs 4 strikes.
Yeah.
You give him 4 strikes, he's going to burn you.
Yeah, it appeared he had him struck out, as it looked like he had Kutcher struck out the previous batter on a 3-2 pitch.
Well, you brought it up, though. You mentioned it. Here's McDowell throwing a lot of pitches out here, and you get a veteran umpiring crew like this one is. It's a good umpiring crew, but you get a veteran crew out there, and then you get a youngster out on the mound who's 2-0-3-1, as we mentioned. He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I'll guarantee you, you run it back. We can run it back again. The strike to Kutcher was a strike. He had Boggs struck out, but you don't get the benefit of the doubt if you're going deep into the count to every hitter.
Yeah, that's very
And that's
true.
the way it's been as long as the game's been around.
Well, the main thing for Jack right now is to really settle down and not get too frustrated and flustered out there. He's just got to continue to try and throw those quality strikes, get these guys out right here, because you can't afford to fall too far behind with Roger Clemens pitching against you.
Still nobody out. Runners at the corners and Marty Barrett. Takes a strike. Breaking ball in the outside corner. Watch out, they got him. Yes, they did. That's the first time I've seen that play work in years. I'll tell you, since the Ice Age.
Hey, he picked me off up here.
I'll tell you, how long has it been since you've seen that play work?
A long time. Well, when did I last see Chet Lemon play? He's the only guy I've seen get picked off on that play with any degree of consistency. I'd love to see that again. There's Sammy Ellis breathing a little easier. Did he fake to first and then third and then go back to first?
No, I just think he just broke
fast
towards third and then just turned around,
Goodness, it was so quick. I thought he did about 3 pump fakes over there, and he had me going.
So now the Sox with the infield in. Into right center field.
Let Sammy
That's got to let Sammy. He got it. Lance. Oh, no. That's drops the ball. Lance can't throw him out. Sammy had a shot at him. If anybody's going to have a shot at him. Meanwhile, he scores, and it's a 3-1 ball game.
Well, there's the McDowell play. Not as significant right now. That play right there, as Hawk mentioned, if there's a ball hit between 2 outfielders, you got to let the guy with the strong arm throw. Sammy Sosa has one of the best arms in the American League. Lance Johnson does not. He's got to make the play. And Sammy can throw the ball all the way to home in the air. He doesn't have to hit the cutoff man because there's nobody left on base other than the runner at third.
Well, I'm sure that they will be told about it. I'm sure that Lance will be told about it. And again, as we mentioned last night, this is a young ball club. They're going to make some mistakes like this. And the only thing you try to do as we take another look at it is you just try to keep them down to a minimum after they have made one. You just don't want them repeating the same mistakes.
See, Lance is getting himself in the proper throwing position right there. And that's right, but he's not the guy that should catch that ball. Sammy's got the good arm. He's got the great arm.
Ellis Burks, the count 2-0.
I'm sure they'll score that as a sacrifice fly and an error to center fielder.
That's exactly the way they scored it. The count to Burks. 1 out, Barrett at first. Ball started off a base hit by Tony Pena. Hit and run single by Jody Reed. And then on a very good looking pitch on 3-2 to Kutcher, he walked. Boggs 2-run single, and then the sacrifice fly error by Barrett. So there goes Burks.
Well, that's the second walk in the inning. I'll tell you what, Hawk, Jack McDowell has still got a good fastball working for him right now.
He's had a tough inning.
Yeah, that's a tough inning for him.
He's had the 2 close calls, 2 close pitches at home plate, could have been struck out, and then the error in center field.
I think Jeff Torborg realizes that he does still have good velocity, and that breaking ball appears to be coming around a little bit more, and especially on the last couple of hitters. So he's going to leave him in there against Greenwell with runners at first and second, and only 1 out.
Well, even if Greenwell gets a base hit, I still like to move because Jack has indeed had a tough inning out there. Not all of his own doing. Doesn't get that one. Greenwell, a rocket for a base hit last inning.
You know, too, Hawk, the Boston Red Sox as a team are going to get a lot more calls than some of the other teams in the league because they have that reputation of leading the American League in walks every year. Very patient hitting team, so they're going to get a few more calls than, say, the California Angels, who never walk, or the Milwaukee Brewers, Cleveland Indians, those teams.
They will definitely, as you say, over the course of the year, get a lot of benefits. Two and 1 the count. Ball momentarily gets away from Pudge, and the count now 3-1. I would imagine, though, if he loses this man, it might be all. 3 balls are striking out here in the top of the 3rd. Greenwell looking for his first RBI of the year. That's ball 4, and that'll load him up. 2 consecutive walks. McDowell's 3rd walk of the game. And here comes Dwight Evans. Evans, the 8th Red Sox player to hit here in the 3rd inning. And here comes Jeff Torborg. Managers can live with almost everything except the base on balls from a pitcher.
Well, 3 walks in 3 innings. One of the things that we had commented about the White Sox pitching staff is their great control so far, but tonight was a bit of the exception to the rule, although Boston, as we mentioned, always seems to draw a lot of walks.
All right, so a tough outing right here for the young Jack McDowell. Not of his own doing, I should say. Breaking the action, we'll be back to tell you about Billy Long right after this.
Billy Long is the new White Sox pitcher. The right-hander has an 0-1 record. 16.2 is his earned run average, appearing in his 3rd ball game tonight. Inning in 2/3, giving up 2 hits, walking 1 and striking out none. But Billy did a great job last night. He pitched an inning and a 1/3, and he gave up nothing. No hits, no walks, no strikeouts. So he did a good job, and he's got a tough job ahead of him right now. Needs a double play ball to get out of this innings to keep the White Sox in contention and try and come back on Roger Clemens, but Dwight Evans the hitter.
As you can see, the base is full of Boston Red Sox players out there. Barrett, Burks, and Greenwell. 1 out, and a tough customer at the plate. Evans popped up to right field last inning. 3-1, Boston leads it. Up high. Evans, as we mentioned, has always been a good crip hitter and a good mistake hitter. And by crip hitter, we mean guys who are 2-0-3-1 when you had to come in with a strike. He's also been one of the better 3-0 hitters in this league for a number of years. Breaking ball misses in the count, 2-0. You don't want to get in Mr. Evans' web.
He's very selective in this situation too, Hawk. If he does not like this 2-0 pitch, chances are if it's something that he can't pull, something that he can drive, hit out of the ballpark, or gap, he'll take it.
3-0. Billy, 4.45 ERA career-wise against the Red Sox. Fastball strike. Boy, just a lovely evening for baseball here at Comiskey Park. Certainly as opposed to last night when it was frigid. There's another strike, and the count goes full.
Beautiful
Tom
pitch.
yeah, it was. As you mentioned, Tom, you call it, though. Dwight is very selective. That ball is on the outside corner. If he hits it, it's probably going to be a ground ball. So he just got another one to look at you.
That's right. 2-0, 3-1. You got to be selective. Get the pitch you can drive. Not so much here. 3-2.
He holds up ball 4. So that'll force home Marty Barrett with the 3rd consecutive walk issued by the White Sox, and it's a 4-1 game. For Evans, that's RBI number 8.
Well, Evans wouldn't bite on the curveball. It was down and away. A lot of hitters may have been in their anxiety to hit and drive in those runs, would have gone after that pitch, but not so with Dwight Evans, whom, as Hawk said, is very selective at the plate.
Billy Joe Robidoux. That's out of play left side. When you walk 4 guys in 1 inning against this team, I tell you, in reality, if they could get out of this somehow with just the 4,
yeah,
with everything that's going on, with a couple of missed pitches and in the era. There's a shot. Greg Walker has no other play, and that's out number 2.
Oh, that's a big out right there for Billy Long and the White Sox. That was a 2-run single. All over it. Ball had no eyes, though. Here's a breaking ball. Billy Joe waits back on it. Not a good pitch to throw to Robidoux, as we've seen yesterday. He was behind the fastball. Greg right there to make the play. So there's 2 outs.
And here's the 10th Red Sox hitter. Tony Pena started it off with that base hit right by Robin Ventura. Broken bat. Ozzie can't get there. Here comes one. Here comes another. There's the throw to third base. Is now Pena will move into second, and it's a 6-1 Red Sox lead. And Pena with 2 hits this inning and 2 RBIs.
Well, this ball has eyes. It's a good pitch by Long. In on the hands. He jams them. But look at the location. Ozzie trying to make a spectacular play. Can't get there. Ball hits so softly, the runner scores easily from second base. The throw to third, not in time. Not a very wise throw either, because Pena, doing some nice base running there, aggressively gets to second base. So the Red Sox, taking a page out of the White Sox book on aggressive base running, have 6 runs here in the 3rd inning.
Here's Jody Reed. Now that era in center field really looms a lot larger as the pitch misses, and it's 1-0. weird inning. It's 2-0.
Well, things like this happen. Didn't Milwaukee have an 8-run inning on the Red Sox the other day in that 18-0 game? Something like that.
Fastball strike.
Well, the only thing the White Sox can do is just buckle up those chin straps and go get them. Keep battling.
Oh, they'll keep battling. You know, they've played 6 ball games. They've played 6 good, solid ball games. And this is one inning they just come apart in, and they got some help coming apart too. I said this inning could have been over a long time ago. Jack McDowell could have still been out there. And at the worst was just 1 run across.
That's right. Jack McDowell looked like he had as good as better stuff this past inning. Better movement. He certainly had a better breaking ball. First 2 innings he did not have one.
Well, so far the Red Sox have had 5 outs this inning. This is the 6th one at the plate right now. That's off the foot. Foul ball, says home plate umpire Terry Cooney.
I don't think Jody Reed's going to fall down at home plate unless this ball hits his foot. Oh, right off the top of his shoe. And that hurts. Well, it's still 3-2.
Tony Pena had 2 hits this inning, 2 RBIs and a run scored.
And he didn't hit either one of them hard either.
Nope. That's hit hard in the center field, right at Lance Johnson. He's there. Makes a catch, another retire to the side, but not before. The Boston Red Sox come up with 6 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 2 men left, and after 2.5, they lead it 6-1. Big Roger Clemens taking his warm-up tosses. He has been staked to a 5-run cushion. In time I'll never forget 2 years ago. Roger Clemens was pitching against the Yankees. The Red Sox in New York. Red Sox scored 9 times in the top of the 1st inning. And I said at that point, you can wrap this one up and send it to Cooperstown. The Yankees won that game 11-10.
And Roger didn't get anybody out in the 1st inning, did he?
I tell you, they came right back. I don't know what it was, a 7 or 8 or something. Here's Lance Johnson. Lance popped up to Mike Greenwell his first trip. Only 3 of those runs were earned in the top half of this frame. Big error by Johnson. 6-5-0 for Boston, 1-3-1 for the Sox. 2-0 the count.
Well, this is a take count right here for Lance, especially if the White Sox want to get back in this ball game. Going to have to try and maneuver runners around, try and get on any way they can. Walks are okay.
3-0. The take 2 situation.
Yeah. Well, Roger sat around a long time in that dugout or clubhouse, wherever he was. Long time between innings.
What is this? Lance evidently missed the sign.
Or maybe it was a 2-1 count.
Well,
he may have
it may have been a 2-1 count. On the board, he had 3-0, and I didn't see the umpire Terry Cooney come up with the right arm.
Yeah, he's not very emphatic with his strike call, so he did lift that.
Well,
right
it had to be, because I don't see anybody talking to Lance Johnson down in the dugout.
Must have been 2-1.
Here's Scotty. Scotty. He is a tiger. He is.
out over that plate on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
But only once. One and one the count. Two balls and a strike. So Clemens behind Johnson 2-1, behind Fletcher 2-1. One thing about Roger Clemens, though, as we've talked about, like with the Sox with our own Scott Radinsky, he can pitch from behind because of his ability. Clemens can pitch from behind if he's a little wild. Not too many guys can do that.
No, you're right. And you saw a great job of pitching in that second inning when the White Sox had this guy on the ropes. They had a run in and two guys in scoring position, and he pitched himself out of it. Great pitchers get out of innings with 1 run or 2 runs max.
Well, there's no quit on him. He is a thoroughbred. There's no question. Scotty battling hard. That's a pretty impressive record. 49-21. This record's better on the road than it is at Fenway. 97-45 total for career. He is 40. That's up high, full count. Check that, 52 games over 500.
Not too shabby.
Third strikeout for Roger. 2 gone.
Well, here's nothing but an overpowering fastball right there. That ball looked like it moved in a little bit on Scotty. Mismatch, 3 strikeouts, no walks right there, and Roger Clemens can do that to a lot of hitters. One stat that was really impressive about Roger is the fact that he always won in his start after after the Red Sox had lost the previous game. I think he did that like 15 times, or well, maybe not that many times in a season. It was incredible, though.
Boy, if you're going to compete, it's so important to have that guy when you're driving to the ballpark that day, you know you're probably going to win that ball game.
Yeah.
One and one the count to Ivan.
Jim Angio in our truck tells us he was Roger Clemens is 56 in 15 career after a loss, after a Red Sox loss.
2-1. Well, I told you earlier how I feel about him. I mean, I've faced a lot of guys in my life, you know, Koufaxes and Drysdales, and Nolan Ryans, and Catfish Hunters, and Sam McDowells. I think when this guy's as healthy, he's as good as anybody that ever played this game, that ever pitched.
Oh my!
And you know one thing, pitching. If you saw his record, the number there, pitching in Fenway Park, you know, which is without question in the American League the best hitters park, and one of 2 in baseball, the other being Atlanta.
Yeah.
And to do what he's done, that's it, high and deep to center field. Burks goes back at the track, and he makes the catch. Nothing across. 1-2-3 inning for Clemens, and after 3, it's 6-1 Boston. That's the story from Comiskey Park, top of the 4th inning. 6-1 Boston. And a reminder, the first 15,000 fans attending the Sox-Blue Jays game on Friday, April 27th, well, they will receive a collectible photo of Carlton Fisk. That'll be compliments of Kodak. And for tickets, just dial Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. That is, first 15,000 fans, April 27th, Blue Jays in town, will receive a collectible photo of Carlton Fisk, compliments of Kodak. Randy Kutcher drew one of the 4 walks issued by Sox pitching last inning. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And just checking around some of the particulars for you on some of the scores. Detroit over the Yankees this afternoon, 8-4 at Tiger Stadium. Morris a winner, 2-1. And LaPointe the loser, 0-1. Cecil Fielder hit his second homer of the year. Baltimore scoring 3 times in the top of the 4th after 5, tied with the Blue Jays at 3. Harnish against Key. Milligan. As that's hit into right center field. Lance Johnson, Sosa converging now. Sammy calls him off. And he makes the catch. A couple of home runs in that Baltimore-Toronto game. Milligan his first and Olerud his first. Milligan for the Birds and Olerud for the Blue Jays. No score in the 4th now. Cleveland and Kansas City. That's Farrell against Davis. Milwaukee leading Texas 1-0 after 1. That's Jamie Navarro against Moyer. As here's Wade Boggs, 1 for 2. Takes up high. Minnesota to Seattle. That's Smith against Young later on. In Oakland at California, Sanderson against McCaskill. (2-0). There you see the southpaw Wayne Edwards starting to loosen up. Dodgers beat the Giants at Candlestick 6-2. Morgan the winner, 2-0. Gunnarsson the loser. He is 0-1 as there's a 2-hopper to Ozzie, and that's out number 2. And that Dodger victory, Eddie Murray hit 2 home runs in that ball game. Hubie Brooks. For Murray, that was his second and third of the year. Hubie Brooks hit his second of the season. So the Dodgers over the Giants 6-2. Cubbies leading the Mets. That's 3-2. That's after 4.5. Maddox against Cone. 5-5 tie. San Diego at Cincinnati. Joe Carter's hit his first National League home run. Mario Duncan is also homered in that ballgame. Rasmussen and Jackson were the pitchers who started. Marty Barrett. Philadelphia leading Montreal 4-2. Howell against Gross. Cardinals leading the Buccos 1-0 after 5. In Pittsburgh, that's Tudor against Walk. John Tudor is 1-0 going for his second victory. There's the bunt. Long has time. Makes the play, and it'll retire the Red Sox in order. After 3.5 from Comiskey Park, 6-1 Boston. (6-1) Red Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning. For the Sox, it'll be Pasqua, Fisk, and Walker. And those are the 3 hitters who have the only 3 base hits against Roger Clemens. Clemens coming in, making his 3rd start. He beat Detroit on opening day. Last time out, beat the Brewers. He is 2-0. Was 3-0 last year against the Sox with an 0.36 Erie.
That is eerie. When you think about that. 1 run in 25 innings. He was awesome, though, against the Sox. He had great stuff every time out.
Here's Pasqua. Now, last time up, he got a breaking ball down and in. He smoked down the first baseline for his double. And there was a heater. As we mentioned, I doubt very seriously he's going to get anything off speed down and in again.
Oop. 290-plus fastballs right on the outside. The book on Danny Pasqua, really, you got to throw him real hard stuff and then soft stuff. Anything in between, he will pretty much nail.
One and 2 the count. Milwaukee now leading the Rangers 2-0. Jamie Moyer, that's in the bottom of the 2nd. Kansas City still hitting in the bottom of the 4th. They have not posted a score yet. Cleveland. Later on, as we mentioned, Minnesota. That's Seattle. That's out of play. Reds have taken an 8-5 lead over San Diego.
Lou thinks that National League is real easy, doesn't he? Lou Piniella?
Sweet Lou. Boy, did you read that in the paper today?
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's no secret. There's no love lost between he and Jack McKeon.
Well.
I was, Pull a string on a little bit, and Danny's gone. That's strikeout number 4 for Clemens.
And that's a split finger pitch, ladies and gentlemen. That goes down and away, and that is see you later. But I didn't like that article at all.
No.
Hawk, I think there's no reason, no call for any of those things to come out.
Well, as far as I didn't like it. I mean, I can understand it being written as you can, only because they both have books out, and they both said that in their books.
Yeah.
Whoop! There's another laser. Pudge had a base hit, hard base hit to knock in Pasqua back in the second. But yeah, there's no secret that Lou and Jack don't like each other at all.
And Charlie Metro doesn't like either one of them.
And Charlie jumped into the thing. Could you believe that?
That's what I didn't particularly care about. Yeah, those things were written, and obviously they don't care if everybody knows that they don't like each other. But the other part.
Well, this game certainly is no different than any other profession. If you wanted to tell tales, you could certainly do so, as they could, and as lawyers or doctors or iron workers, pilots, anybody's got their own little fraternity, so to speak. 1-2 the count to Fisk. But once you do it, you may be just history.
Yeah.
Carlton muscles this one.
I tell you, Roger still thinks he can throw that fastball by Pudge.
You brought up the key point last time Carlton was at the plate, though, Tom. As long as you can turn that number 1 around, you can play in the major leagues. And that is what's happened over the years. Seeing so many great players like an Al Kaline, who was a great player. Frank Robinson was a great player. Frank Howard was an outstanding hitter. Brooks Robinson. Got him on an off-speed pitch. Ball gets away from Pena, and Carlton going down the first. He'll get there safely. It'll be a strikeout, and we'll see how it's a wild pitch or a pass ball.
I probably think this is a wild pitch, that is, because the ball bounces in front of the plate. Let's look at it. It's a split finger again. Look at nastiness right there.
Yeah, it's got to be a wild pitch.
Ooh, is that tough to lay off of, because it looks like it's about a knee-high fastball. And Pudge right there swinging at dirt. Oh, my. Strikeout number 5. White Sox get a bit of a break there. Fisk at first for Greg Walker.
But getting back to those other hitters, that's the first thing, is they got a little older in their careers. Of course, back in those days, 31 to 32 was getting pretty old. The perception has changed, and Pete Rose was really the guy who really started changing the perception on age. He was the guy who got everybody over the hump on thinking that 35 was not old, that you could still play. And when you saw Robinson and those guys, at the end of their careers, they couldn't even turn a mediocre fastball around. Carlton still can turn Roger Clemens around, as we have seen.
That's right, and when you can do that, and he's 42 years old now, there's really no reason for me to think that he couldn't play another 2 years after this one.
Well, if we put him in left field, he might be able to.
Nah.
Walk has a pretty good rep right there. And the count 1-2.
I wonder what kind of left fielder he really would have. I bet he'd been a pretty good one.
He'd have been all right.
Yeah, he'd been decent out there.
Yeah, he'd have been all right. Good athlete.
72, he's got that tackles number, though. Oh, my. Oh.
That's strikeout number 6. Struck out 3 men this inning. He has a chance to do something not too many guys have done. Strike out 4 in 1 inning.
Well, he might strike out a lot more than that, because the catcher's going to have a tough time catching that pitch. My goodness, that split finger pitch is going down big time.
Robin Ventura. Robin had a sacrifice bunt back in the second.
With 2 strikes, Hawk, you just can't lay off of that pitch. I mean, early in the count, if you throw it, chances are the hitter will be disciplined enough to take it.
Jams him. And a little looper in the right. Randy Kutcher's there. He makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. There were 3 strikeouts for Clemens. No errors, a man left. And after 4, 6-1 Red Sox.
As we go into the 5th inning, Boston ahead 6-1. And we have a pitching change for the White Sox. Wayne Edwards, the left-hander, comes on in relief of Billy Long. Long worked an inning and 2/3 and gave up 1 hit and walked 1. No runs charged to Billy. There's the numbers on Edwards. No record. 4.50 is his earned run average. He is working in his 4th ball game. Has pitched 2 innings, given up 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Wayne last worked on Saturday night at Comiskey against the Cleveland Indians, where he pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 run earned, 2 hits, and he struck out 2. So he's got a good pitch. He's got a good fastball that he can run in, cut it a little bit in on a right-handed hitters. There you see his numbers from Saturday. Also can turn the ball over a bit and has an excellent over-the-top curveball.
Well, Wayne, for all Sox fans who have not seen him that much, he has been noted as his strong point being right inside. He got a lot of heart, a lot of stomach. And everybody he's pitched for has really enjoyed that part of it. He is not afraid out there. Here's Ellis Burks. It'll be Burks, Greenwell, and Evans. That's hit hard right at Calderon. 1 pitch, 1 out. Burks now 0 for 2.
Yeah, you really have to like Wayne Edwards and the stuff that he takes out there. I tell you, he could be a starter. When the White Sox go to a 5-man starting rotation, he could be a guy that could be considered for that spot when the games start piling up on him.
As long as you're not afraid out there, you got a chance.
Yeah.
Here's Greenwell. Mike has single, walked.
And one thing Wayne will do is throw strikes, and he'll throw quality pitches too, and especially with that curveball of his. He's tough on both righties and lefties with that pitch.
Chopper gets by. He's got to get over there. Nice play. Good play by Edwards as Walker gets it to him, and that's out number 2.
That's a fine play by Walker and Edwards. Tell you what, Wayne is a good athlete. As you can see him bounce off the mound here, a little number off the bat of Greenwell. He's going to try and make the play, and oops, I can't get there. I better get to the bag. Does it nicely. He finds it. Left foot on the bag, and he gets him by a stride. Good play. And Walker, that's a tough feed right there, and he got it to him.
Here's Dwight Evans. Dwight has popped a right. He's walked. And that forced in a run. Takes the strike. Well, it was just so nice to see. I'll tell you, it's just so nice to see this spring all the good young talent in the White Sox farm system. As we've talked about, there's a fellow coming your way pretty soon named Frank Thomas. He is awesome.
He'll fill out a uniform, won't he?
He will definitely fill out 1 or 2 of them. He's a tremendous specimen, physical specimen. Strong, quick, first baseman out of Auburn, the #1 draft pick, and he will be here. And then all of a sudden you have another player who was involved in the Harold Baines trade, Wilson Alvarez. Now Wilson was touched up a couple of first start out with Vancouver, but he'll be here. I mean, it's fun to watch this 19-year-old left-hander throw it. He can throw it right through the wall.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at those guys that got those hits against Alvarez, because he got a great arm. Danny Evans tells us that Frank Thomas has hit another home run tonight. Probably about an 800-foot shot.
That surprised me. If you told me 3 or 4, it wouldn't surprise me. He's beautiful. But there's other, as we talked about from spring training, Tom, I've just never seen a camp. They had 168 players, I believe, in camp. I've never seen that many big athletes.
Yeah.
He got him. Look at Wayne. Retirement order. 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. And after 4.5, it's 6-1 Boston.
This copyright program is presented by the authority of Major League Baseball and the Chicago White Sox. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of these pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written permission of Major League Baseball, the Chicago White Sox, and Sports Channel Chicago is prohibited.
Nice going. Well, we got through it.
Thank you.
Bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Sosa, Ozzie, and then at the top of the order, Lance Johnson. That's a story. 1 big inning for the Red Sox back in the 3rd, scoring all 6 of their tallies. Here's Sammy. Sammy struck out back in the 2nd, 1 of 6 thus far registered by Clemens. I'll tell you, he is fun. That's Sammy. As I said, he sees it and he turns it loose, doesn't he?
Just unbutton that top button and take a rip.
The Panther. So graceful in the outfield.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun watching him get, 400 or 500 at bats.
Yeah.
And then see him next year. Of course, it's fun watching him right now, even when he's still just, in essence, just a baby. Lays off that hard slider.
Those are pretty good numbers right there. Almost a strikeout an inning over 12, almost 1,300 innings. Wow.
Up high, 2-2. And a lot of times as well, you're talking about comparing Clemens. It's hard to compare, as we all know, but he's facing, with the DH. He's not facing the pitcher the way a lot of guys did in the past when they had that easy 2 or 3 strikeouts a game from that 9-hole.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you really think about Nolan Ryan's accomplishments, especially years ago when he was with California, when he struck out 350 odd in a season,
awesome.
And that's with a DH too.
Yeah, just awesome.
Yeah.
Kufu did it a couple times with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Sammy battling, cutting, and slashing up there.
He's not going to get cheated in any at bat, that's for sure. Sammy Sosa's taking a rip, and as long as he keeps that front side closed, he doesn't open up too quick, he will have a good rip at the ball. When you open up that front shoulder, the head goes and the hip goes, you lose a lot of bat speed that way.
It's all right. It's all right. He's got to learn to lay off the high fastball from the hard throwers like that.
Oh, that's for sure. Hard ball right here. That ball has got some giddy up. That appeared to rise.
That might be as good a fastball as Rogers throwing tonight right there.
He's got to be in the mid-90s at least. That's a conservative guess, about 94, 95 miles an hour. Wouldn't you think?
I think you could be very conservative. Ozzie. Base hit.
Attaboy, Oz. See, that fastball was down right there. Ozzie's able to just drop the head of the bat on it. Solid contact, left center field. Great swing. Look at it.
Well, you know what you were talking about last night with Scott on the mound, Rudinsky. As you commented, there are a lot of guys who can throw hard upstairs. Not too many who can throw hard downstairs. Now, Rudinsky can throw hard downstairs.
Yep.
As Clemens can throw hard downstairs. But especially with a left-handed hitter, it's a lot easier for him just to more or less drop the bat on the low fastball than try to manipulate it to get it on top of the high fastball. Here's Lance. You can see he's 0 for 2. Watch out.
And fans, you can bring your family or group out to the Kingford Charcoal picnic area under the left field bleachers at Comiskey Park before and during White Sox home games. Remember that.
Tommy, that was what made Bob Gibson so effective. He threw hard down low as well. And he had, of course, that awesome slider. There's the split finger. And I know when Gibby beat us 3 times in the '67 World Series, in the first 2 games that he beat us, it was just awesome how hard he was throwing knee high for a right-hander, which is very unusual. You don't see too many right-handers can throw hard down low.
Was that the year that he had the 1.1 earned run average? 1.12 earned run average? It was either 67 or 68.
That was in 68. Yeah, that was in 68 when he had the 1.112, and he beat the Tigers a couple of times. He struck out 17, I believe, in the World Series against the Tigers that year. There's a little two-hopper right to the first baseman, Billy Joe Robidoux, and that's out number 2.
And he was only 21-9 that year. He lost, I think, 5 1-0 decisions. You talk about pitching in tough luck.
Well, I'll tell you, in '68, who had a great year in the American League, set the all-time American League ERA that year, was Louis Tiant. He had a 1.60 ERA. Wow. He was 20-9 with 9 shutouts. Here's Scotty. Scotty's 0 for 2. He's flying to right. Struck out.
Tion, he was fun to hit off, wasn't he, in his prime? Turned his back to you.
Boy, he was nasty.
Oh, my. Faced him once in spring training. He threw me 3 fastballs, never saw any of them, and sat down.
Popped up into right field. Randy Kutcher's there. He makes the catch and it'll retire to the side. Nothing across. There was a hit by Ozzie. No errors, a man left after 5. There it is. Jimmy Angio, that's a cruel shot you're throwing up there right now. But joining us in the booth is Rob Gallis, who is the Senior Vice President for Marketing and Advertising and Broadcasting, I should say, for the White Sox. And Rob, tell us about what's going on July 11th.
Well, July 11th, Ken, we're going to try something different. We're going to turn back the clock the day after the All-Star game here, a game against the Brewers. We're going to try and recreate a 1917 atmosphere. Replica Sox uniforms of the period, 5-cent popcorn wagon outside the main gate, little touches and flourishes everywhere, a megaphone to announce the lineups before the game, and really try and turn off the scoreboard as much as possible. We're trying very hard to build a manual scoreboard out there for one day in center field to just really try and give the fans an idea of what it was like to be in Comiskey Park in 1917, the last time the White Sox won the World Championship.
There you see Carlos Quintana hitting for Billy Joe Robidoux here in the top of the 6th inning with the Red Sox leading 6-1. Well, where did you come up with that idea? I mean, it sounds like it's just going to be a very festive occasion. And who's going to be in town that day? Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you know, it's an afternoon game. It's one of the makeup games from earlier in the season, and it just sounded like a good time to have a little fun and do something a little different. I kind of wondered, being the last year of Comiskey Park, what it felt like to be in here in the pre-electronic days where we didn't have the organ, we didn't have the electronic scoreboard. We're going to have little banjo groups prowling the aisles, playing like they did back in 17. And Nancy Faust is bringing her accordion out of mothballs.
She played the accordion?
That's how she got started with the accordion, and Nancy tells us she's ready to come back.
Oh, those funky tunes.
Ball and 2 strikes to Quintana. He's terrible, isn't he, Rob? He is terrible. Outfield spread out straight away. Wayne Edwards a little low in the count, 2-2. How about some of the, I think that everybody has just been nothing but laudatory and complimentary towards the work you've been doing in marketing this ball club this year. And it seems to me that you've had a lot to work with because of the youth and the excitement.
Oh, definitely. I've watched this ball club before coming on board with the White Sox, and I can tell that it's a better club than last year. It's a more interesting club than last year. Better defense and a little more speed. Let's face it, when the club gets better, my job gets a lot easier.
That's up high, ball 4. So the leadoff hitter. And also, next year with the new ballpark, that's going to be something that everybody can have a lot of fun with.
Well, it's starting to get a little exciting over there. They're starting to put the treads on the actual levels of the upper deck today, and so the stadium is starting to take shape. You can start to visualize what it's going to look like next year.
Here's the catcher, Tony Pena. He has had quite an evening in 1 inning thus far. He led off the top of the 3rd. That was the 6-run Red Sox inning with a single. Then he came to hit later on and knocked in 2. So he was 2 for 2 in that inning. A run scored and 2 ribbies. Takes it down low. Well, Rob, we want to wish you the best, and thanks for coming up with some of these innovative and creative and fun ideas.
Well, that's what it's all about, having some fun out here.
And thank you for putting out the cigar before you came in here.
Rob Gallis, I guess. Thanks, Rob.
That's a ropey smoke in there, Hawk.
Want to know the count to Pena. 6-5-0 for Boston, 1-4-1 for the Sox. Tom, that should be a lot of fun on the 11th.
Oh, that's great.
I'm anxious to see it. 2-0.
Great idea, Rob. We get overflow crowd, right? Is that what we're expecting? Tickets are going to be cheaper then, right?
the best part. We are trying to replicate that day as much as possible, so general admission seats will be 50 cents, which is approximately what a seat sold for in 1917.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. I didn't know that. 50 cents.
And all other tickets that day will be half price, so it's a real bargain to come out here that day.
All right, well, all you fans, mark that down on your calendar now. That'll be July 11th. That is not on your schedule. In fact, that is the last day of the All-Star break, the 9th, 10th, and 11th of July. But mark that down, July 11th. Milwaukee will be in town. Tickets will be 50 cents. It'll be Nostalgia Day here at Comiskey Park with the megaphones as there is a strike and a count 2-2. 50 cents general admissions and 5-cent popcorn out front with the vendors going through the stands.
I think the thing I'm looking forward to seeing is what the club's going to look like in those 1917 uniforms. We're not going to do the baggy wools or anything like that, but we'll get close to what they look like.
This could be a pair. Scotty, Ozzie, rock 'em up. A beauty turned by again. 4-6-3. Hello. That is the 6th Sox double play of the season.
Oh, you're going to see a lot of this. Ball hit hard to Scott Fletcher's left. You can see the full turn, the spin, the feed. Ozzie, look at this acrobatic play right here. The throw's a little bit low, and that's why Ozzie's got a leap right there, and he still gets him by a full stride. Tremendous play all the way around. It was amazing that Ozzie could do that to get out of the way of the runner. My goodness, and still put a lot on that throw.
Jody Reed, the shortstop. He's 1 for 2. Cincinnati now leading San Diego 9-7. That game in the top of the 6th. There's a strike and the count 1-1. Breaking ball. Just missed on the count 2-1. Jody, 27 years old, off to a tough start. Takes a strike.
You know, one of the things I really like about Edwards is his delivery. He really throws the glove out in front of him and gives the hitter an illusion. You know, he really doesn't pick up the ball immediately.
Robin's got to hurry right here. In time. Nice play by Ventura. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across. Half 6-1 Boston. Thanks, Rob. Well, there you see, following the Sox game tonight, the Smythe Division Finals Game 1. The Kings at the Oilers. That should be something. A great one against Edmonton. And a defensive change. There's Carlos Quintana. He remains in the ball game for Billy Joe Robidoux. 6-1 Red Sox here in the bottom of the 6th inning. For the Sox, it'll be Calderon, Pasqua, and Fisk to face the right-hander Roger Clemens.
Well, the Red Sox only have 5 hits on the night, but 4 of them came in that big 3rd inning when they parlayed it into 6 runs. Of course, they were benefited by 3 walks in that inning, and those guys that walked, actually they walked 4.
Yeah, and there were, in case you just joined us, Jack McDowell could have been unscathed in that inning. A couple of real close pitches, one on Randy Kutcher on 3-2 and another one on Wade Boggs 2-2. Looked like good strikes. Meanwhile, he didn't get them as Clemens wears back and fogs an on home.
That's good old-fashioned hardball, isn't it? Oh my, can he bring it.
Good rip by Ivan. And a reminder, season tickets, single game Sky Suites, private picnic and patio parties. Also, group tickets are still available for the 1990 season. So for more information, just call the Sox ticket sales office at 1-312-924-1000. Ball and 2 strikes. No, he did not, says Joe Brinkman, crew chief.
Boy, that's a nasty breaking ball right there. That looked like that a real hard curveball.
He'd have got me on it, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
My fanny had been flying.
Look at that. Yaha! Just misses. Yvonne did stay back.
Got that breaking ball up a little bit. It'll be out of play right side over the Red Sox dugout.
And Sports Channel would like to welcome its affiliate, United Cable, and their subscribers in Hammond, Indiana. So welcome, everyone. Seeing a clinic on pitching right here from the great Roger Clemens. Got in a little bit of trouble in the second inning where the Sox parlayed 3 consecutive hits for a run. Came out of the inning, though, as most great pitchers will, with only 1, and continued from there. Oh, my.
That's number 8.
Now that pitch right there's got to be considered unhittable. There's the swing by Yvonne. It's that hard breaking ball. The thing that's so great about it is you don't pick up rotation until right there. Bang. And you've already committed yourself. You've opened up that belly button, and you got no chance. 8 strikeouts, nada walks.
Danny Pasqua 1 for 2. A double, a run scored. And he also was a strikeout victim. Laser. Roger Clemens' 89th pitch of the evening right there to Danny Pasqua. There you see the conditions here at Comiskey are beautiful, as we mentioned, a beautiful evening for baseball. Last night was just miserable weather-wise as he gets him on a split finger, so that's number 9.
Well, that split finger pitch has been his strikeout pitch in the last couple of innings. From about the 4th inning on, this is about the 5th strikeout he's gotten with this one. Look at the split finger, down and away. You don't see rotation on it. What a great pitch that for him to add to his repertoire, especially against left-handed hitters.
You know, every pitch he has in his repertoire is a strikeout pitch.
Yeah.
Every one. And not too many guys you can say that about. His curveball is a strikeout pitch. His slider, certainly his fastball.
Oh, boy.
And then, as you mentioned, to the strong left-handed hitters, well, when he jumps out on top and he throws you 2 straight fastballs, gets you 0-2 and comes by that split finger, grab some bench. Here's Pudge. Pudge 1 for 2.
And don't get too upset about it either.
That's hit hard into center field. Ellis Burks on his horse and drops the ball. Carlton pulls into second. Ellis got a good jump on that linea by Pudge. Got there and just couldn't make the play.
I think he just took the ball, took his eye off the ball just for a second. There you see Pudge getting his arms extended. A little bit of a slider right there, hung up a bit. There's Burks. You know what he might have done, Hawk, is stuck that glove right in front of his eyes and shielded his vision right there. Lost it for a second, and that's going to be an error. Hit it good, though, almost 400 feet to dead center field.
Here's Greg Walker. Greg 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Gas high.
That's low heat. I tell you, the thing with Roger Clemens, you have got to get him early in the count. I'm convinced of it. You can't let him get 2 strikes on you. You're going to make it out in the first 2 pitches.
Boy, I'll tell you. go tell the hitters that.
Yeah.
They say, get back up in that booth.
I mean, he gets two strikes on you, you got no chance. Not with that stuff he has tonight.
And one thing, I'd be hacking anything off speed. The first off speed pitch, I'd be getting after it. 1-1. That's into left field. Mike Greenwell coming on. He's there. He makes a catch. That'll retire the side. Nothing across. There were no hits. 1 error. 1 man left after 6. 6-1 Boston. Ken
Patterson comes on to work the 7th inning for the White Sox. in relief of Wayne Edwards, who did a nice job for 2 innings. They're the numbers on Ken. Zeros across the board. This is his 3rd appearance on the 1990 season. 2 2/3 innings, no hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Ken did work last night. 2/3 of an inning, he walked a batter, and that was it. Retired the 2 other hitters that he faced, so he's on in relief. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Torborg is getting the most of that, making the most of that 27-man roster by getting the relief pitchers almost in every ball game. There's Ron Karkovice. He will probably come on to work for Pudge. Get him a couple innings behind the plate, probably an at-bat against Roger Clemens, or if they decide to go to a reliever.
And a good job by Wayne Edwards, working 2 innings, giving up no runs, no hits, 1 walk, had 1 strikeout. And, of course, the 27-man roster still is, at this point, really nobody knows what's going to happen come the end of the month. Now, Billy Giles, owner and president of the Philadelphia Phillies, has already stated he is going to go with 25. I have not seen that statement by any owner or any American League club as of yet. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, if Giles goes with 25, then as you look at Pudge, certainly other National League owners have already said, or general managers said, if that's the case, we're going to go with 25. So if one guy does it, it'll be hard for the others not to. You just can't spot somebody a spot on a roster, especially if you're trying to compete and trying to be competitive.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, you can see that happening more in the National League, where they don't have the designated hitter, where they pinch hit a lot, pull double switches, things like that. They need a few more players. Interesting to see if anybody in the American League decides to go that way.
Randy Kutcher. He's 0 for 1. A walk, fly to right. Out of play right side. So Patterson, the 4th Sox pitcher of the evening. Six 5-1 for Boston, 4-1 for the Sox. Baltimore now leading Toronto 7-3. That game in the top of the 8th up in Canada.
Tell you what, the White Sox can run 3 pretty tough left-handers at you out of that bullpen.
Dadgum right.
With Patterson, Radinsky, and of course Wayne Edwards. That's a nice luxury to have if you're Jeff Torborg. You know, you got that expanded pitching roster. You can almost go batter for batter in a tight situation late in the ball game.
That's it deep to left center field. Put it on the board. Upper tank for Kutcher. And it's a 7-1 Red Sox lead.
Kutcher got a fastball to his liking, pretty much over the middle of the plate, and he nailed it. First home run and RBI of the season for Randy Kutcher. And I'll tell you what, that's upper tank. You got to hit it a ton to get it out of there.
Wade Boggs. 1 for 3 tonight.
Let's look at the swing. It's a fastball down middle of the plate.
Wheelhouse.
Woo. That ball was pretty straight coming up there. And one of the things I've always said about Ken Patterson, he's got excellent movement on his fastball. That one appeared to not move.
He does have good movement on his fastball. You say, you know, sometimes they straighten out on you. The hitter will usually let you know when you make a bad pitch.
Yeah.
1-2 to Boggs. That's off of Patterson. Ozzy's there, over to Walker in time, so that'll be scored 1-6-3.
See the good swing right there that Kutcher puts on the ball. You know, he didn't get a chance to play very often, so if I were him, I'd take a nice slow stroll around those bases. Upper deck, that ball's hit up close to 400 feet.
Here's Marty Barrett. Marty's 0 for 3. Checked it 0 for 2. Got a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd. There's a strike. Required a tough man to strike out. 0-2 the count. Rip foul. See Marty right there. A lot of times hitters will get upset with themselves. They'll get a pretty good pitch to hit and they get a little anxious and they jerk it foul. And you know, chances are you may not get anywhere close to that pitch again.
Especially 0-2. Oh, there's a great effort by a fan. Now that doesn't feel good either.
There's right-hander Don Paul down in the Sox pen. Watch out.
You know, good move tonight by manager Jeff Torborg to get Carlton Fisk a couple innings off. Don't you think, Hawk? Because as he does that throughout the course of the season, he's going to keep Pudge healthier and wealthier and wiser, I think, because he'll just appear in many more ball games.
Well, Pudge had 3 at-bats tonight against Clemens, and I'll tell you, he had 3 solid at-bats. He really did, even though he struck out 1 time. There's the right side. Scotty falls down. He's going to recover in time over to Walker, and that's out number 2. But, yeah, you'll see Carlton. You know, he's been catching. Of course, they've had a couple of off days, but, you know, day games after night games. As you look at Scotty Scotty.
Is he a battler or what?
He's
He
all over the place.
All over the place. Yes, he did. He made a good play. That turf, you know, it's soft, and there's a chance you could get those cleats caught a little bit. Ellis Burks, the hitter, takes ball 1 inside with the fastball.
Of course, that infield is just a joy. That infield, there is none better.
No.
There may be some as good. I don't know where they are, but there's none better. Roger Bossert.
He is excellent. I'll tell you what, I can't remember the last time I really saw a bad hop due to the on that infield, especially on the dirt part, which, you know, you go to Cleveland and you can get hair-lipped over there at any time. It's an awful ballpark to try and catch ground balls.
Well, yeah, Detroit was the one I always hated. Boy, because the dirt clumped up on you, you know, and it was clumps all around.
Yeah.
And they just eat you alive.
Yeah.
Ellis Burks, the count 1-1.
Milwaukee's bad.
There's a base hit in the hole.
And the Coca-Cola Shy Sox fan club is open to Sox fans of all ages. Members receive 2 White Sox tickets, subscription to the Comiskey Columns newsletter, a set of White Sox baseball cards, and more for only $10 as a membership fee. Plus, the proceeds benefit the Shy Sox Research Fund at Northwestern Memorial Hospital and the Shy Sox Day Hospital at Children's Memorial. For more information, call the White Sox 924-1000.
Mike Greenwell takes the ball. And just checking around the White Sox farm system, on Monday it was a clean sweep. Vancouver, Birmingham, South Bend, Sarasota all won. And yesterday Vancouver won again. Birmingham was rained out. Sarasota beat Osceola, and South Bend lost. Of course, the White Sox last year had the best composite minor league record in all of baseball. As a matter of fact, the 4th all-time best composite record ever. Right side, 2-hopper. Scotty's there. That'll do it for Boston here in the top of the 7th. They do score a run, and after 6.5, it's 7-1 Red Sox.
Hi, I'm White Sox manager Jeff Torborg. Along with me every week, Tom Pashorek has led me right to this point.
Are you sure you're not me?
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm manager Jeff Torborg of the Chicago White Sox. I hope you'll join Tom Pashorek and me each week on White Sox Weekly.
7-1 Red Sox here at Comiskey Park. Now let's check out the rest of the Major League scores for you. You see Tigers over the Yankees 8-4. Baltimore leading Toronto 7-3 in the 8th. Kansas City now leading 4. That's 4-0 against Cleveland. Milwaukee, Texas, locked up at 2 in the 5th. Down in Texas, no score. Minnesota, Seattle. Later on, Oakland, the A's against the Angels in Anaheim. In the National League, Dodgers over the Giants 6-2. Cubbies leading the Mets 8-3 in the 8th at Shea. Cincinnati hanging on, trying to remain undefeated over San Diego 9-7. Philadelphia 4, Montreal 3 in the 8th up in Canada. St. Louis shutting out Pittsburgh 3-0. And Houston thumping on Atlanta 9-5 in the 5th at the Astrodome. Defensive change for the Red Sox. Luis Rivera in for Wade Boggs at 3rd. Robin Ventura. Darryl Boston on deck to hit for Sammy Sosa. High heat. 7-7-1 for the Red Sox. 1-4-1 for the White Sox. Once again, Robin Ventura 2-0. He's amazing.
How does he do that?
I have no idea. He's just absolutely amazing for a youngster. Always 2-0-3-1. That's it deep to right field. Going foul.
Oh my. Boy, he took a 2-0 rip there, didn't he? That's good hitting. Well, remember in spring training, we were talking about him. He was not taking a good hack up there, 2-0 and 3-1.
But you're going to hit if you're 2-0-3-1 all the time. There's a high fastball from Clemens. I'm not saying it was his best because he was trying to throw a strike, but still, I think Robin is going to hit 20-25 home runs a year. Anybody that gets on the count like he does, 2-0-3-1, you can be selective. He's not going to be a powerful home run hitter, but what he's going to be is a finesse home run hitter, vis-a-vis an Al Kaline or a Don Mattingly. You know, these guys are on top in the count. And I think before Robin's done, he's going to hit 20-25 home runs a year. You pick and choose. There's a 3-1 fastball right over the outside corner.
At the knees, maybe. You know, the White Sox have an interesting way of taking batting practice at home. They hit, each guy hits for 4 or 5 minutes by themselves. They don't hit in a group. And I was watching Robin today, and he was hitting balls out of the ballpark, something I had not seen him do before.
That's it high and deep to right center field. Kutcher on his horse, going back at the track, looks up, put it on the board. A home run for Ventura, his first of the season, and it's a 7-2 game. Mercy.
Take a bow, Robin Ventura. Great piece of hitting there. 3-2. He got the fastball. Fastball up in the strike zone, and he nailed it. Well, at 420 feet, just to the right of center field. First home run, 3rd RBI of the season for Robin, and his first major league dinger. Oh my, he nailed that one. You're right, Hawk. He's got the power.
Well, again, it's because of the fact when you're continually on top like that, you see more pitches, you have a better gauge, as Boston hitting for Sammy Sosa. And again, look at Mattingly. You know, he's hit a lot of home runs in his career, and he's not that strong. Kaline used to hit 20-25 a year. I think Ventura's going to be right out of the same mold.
Thing about Robin, too, he's got the great on-base percentage with the home runs. He's coming in yesterday, I know his .560 is on-base percentage, and he's fairly close to that right now.
You know, that might be a little bit of kismet, too, involved in that home run. Your first major league home run off Roger Clemens.
Whoa. Well, I'll be bragging on that for a few years.
Well, Tom, you were very wrong. Good rip by Boston on the distance on Ventura's home run.
What happened?
It was 417. Missed it by a yard, kid. Hard hit right at Marty Barrett. Stays with it. And that's out number 1.
Good swing there by Darryl Boston. Almost handcuffed Marty Barrett. He got the head of the bat on that one. Unfortunately, it was right at the second baseman. There's Robin. That's only the second home run the White Sox have hit this year, and both of them have been crunched. Ron Kittles.
There's a little bit of difference.
Yeah. Well, Kitty's over there telling him, well, Mine went about 100 feet farther.
That's right. Double-barreled activity down in the Red Sox pen. On the right of your screens, Rob Murphy and Jeff Reardon. Ozzie, base hit. Ozzie now 2 for 3, 2 solid singles.
Well, you don't see this very often. 3 consecutive shots hit off Roger Clemens, which might lend one to believe that he could be slightly tiring at this point. He threw an awful lot of pitches in the second inning, Hawk.
When you strike out 9 guys, you know, through 6 1/3, you're going to throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
And he's been down in the count. He's been behind 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 to a lot of Sox hitters.
I'll tell you, the White Sox certainly aren't giving up. 3 balls hit extremely hard. Of course, Lance Johnson will be the hitter.
They will not do that. They will not roll over.
And that'll be a key for him later on as this season goes along. You're going to see the White Sox pulling a lot of games out that you would normally think that they'd be out of. Kay Lemons.
So with 1 out, Ozzie at first, that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Lance Johnson. Lance 0 for 3. Only 2 hitters. Check that. 3 hitters in the Sox lineup have not struck out. Johnson, Ventura, and Ozzie. Strike. Cincinnati still leading 9-7. Top of the 7th in Cincinnati. Right over San Diego. Ball and strike to Lance.
Well, Roger Clemens is well over that 100 pitch mark right now in the 7th inning, and working on 3 days rest too.
Ball and 2 strikes. And a reminder, the first in a series of Chi Sox Coca-Cola luncheons will take place on Monday, April 30th at noon at the Chicago Hilton and Towers downtown. Now, this luncheon will feature the entire Sox team and is co-sponsored by the Chicago Sun-Times. So for more information, just dial 312-924-1000 and extension 365. Off the hand of Clemens. Johnson's going to beat it out. Roger stopping that with his bare hand. And that'll be a base hit.
Well, Roger must have really fallen off the mound that time, because it appeared that he had a play on that ball. Look at it. See, the glove is way behind him. See, when he finishes up to his delivery, the glove is behind his back almost. So that forces him to use his bare hand. Fortunately, he didn't hurt himself or break a bone or anything. So Scotty Fletcher, the hitter, that's got to be a base hit. Sox even up the hit total at 7. And 1 out for the Scooter.
That is not a good habit for a pitcher to get into.
Oh, no.
I remember seeing the highlights of a game last year, you know, late at night on ESPN or something, where there was a line drive hit right back through the middle, and Clemens tried to get it with his bare hand and it went off the side of his palm.
Yeah.
He just, you know, he's just a competitor out there. He reacts.
And he winds up, you know, with the glove is actually behind him. So it's tough to get in good fielding position with the glove in that position after he throws the ball. You see it right there. It's behind his left leg.
A ball, a strike, and an out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-2, Boston leading.
I think we ought to go out there and work on that a little bit, don't you think?
Oh, that's nasty there. Boy, that's a hard slitter. Man.
He buckled Scotty.
Buckle
Look at it right there. Oh, boy.
That hard
See that
slider.
first move, the hip already got. He was spent before the ball got there.
You blame him?
No.
There's Ivan on deck. Red Sox scoring 6 times. 3 of those were unearned in the 3rd inning. Oh, he drops down. Scotty
Illegal.
stays with him.
Illegal pitch.
2-2.
That's the first time we've seen him do that. I think it's the first time I've ever seen him do that.
Scotty cutting and slashing.
Scotty just doesn't quite have his timing down yet. You can see him late a lot of times, but one thing he's going to do, he's going to battle that pitcher. I don't care. You could bring St. Peter down with the greatest stuff in the world. Scotty will battle you with whatever he's got. He's going to give it to you. That at bat, out in the field, everywhere.
What kind of stuff did he have?
St. Peter? I couldn't hit him. I'll never meet him.
I'm afraid I'm right with you, Burks. That's a bad feeling. That's even a worse feeling than facing Clemens.
That's right.
Joe Morgan and Bill Fisher, pitching coach for Boston. You know, we were talking about Kittle's home run tonight. Fisher threw the one to Mickey Mantle that almost left Yankee Stadium.
Oh, wow.
It was supposed to be a high inside fastball, and it was a low inside slider. Oh, full count. With 1 out. Ozzie at second, Johnson at first, and Scotty. If Scotty.
Well, this is the pitch of the ball game right now for the White Sox.
That's right. It could be. The pitch very well could be the pitch of the game. There go the runners. Ball 4, bases loaded.
Boy, that's a good at bat. He battled him. That's only the first walk for Clemens, and that will be it for the Rocket Man.
Well, Ivan was sort of happy, I think, to see Joe Morgan come out of that dugout.
So,
I don't care who they bring in. And it's going to be the right-hander Jeff Reardon.
Reardon, very impressive yesterday. Let's see if he can do that back-to-back nights, though.
That's going to be interesting. But we'll be back to tell you about Jeff Reardon and what he did last night right after this.
There you see the line on Roger Clemens. 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 9 and walked only 1, but he's responsible for those 3 base runners. 1 out for the Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 117 pitches for the Rocket Man. Jeff Reardon, he's a stud in his own right. No record, no earned run average. He pitched last night against the White Sox. Numbers you are about to see are from last night. An inning and a third, no hits. He walked 1 and struck out 2. He had excellent stuff last night.
It's the best stuff that I've seen him have. We were commenting last night that you also have seen him have in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Back when he first came over to Minnesota, he was throwing the ball hard and had a very hard breaking pitch. But the Sox have jockeyed themselves around right here where they are back in contention. They got the bases loaded, 1 out, 1 swing of the bat. Hello. And here's Calderon. He's 0 for 3 thus far. Struck out twice, and he also went out deep to center field against Roger Clemens. Guillen at third. Johnson at second. Fletcher at first.
Whoa.
And, you know, in talking to some of the Red Sox people, as we did, Tom, they are just as interested to see how Jeff Reardon's going to throw the ball tonight as we just mentioned, as we are.
Yeah.
Whoa. 2-0.
Not even close. What do you do here? Do you let him loose?
No.
I think he's got to take a pitch here.
I do too.
Yeah. Just to see if Reardon can throw a strike. Of course, Jeff Reardon has got a record of not walking anybody.
Well, if he throws a strike here, he's going to come back with another fastball.
Well, this one's got to be a fastball, no doubt about it.
There's a base hit into center field. Ozzie score. Here comes Lance. He's going to score. Scotty on his way to third, and it's a 7-4 ball game. Turn him loose, Jeff.
Heck yeah, let him hit.
Go make it take.
Well, we called another one. Well, you know, Vaughn did not make good contact on that ball. Hit it off the end of the bat. Look at it, it's a fastball. Actually, it's a pitcher's pitch. It's on the outside corner, just slightly above the knees. And as you can see, Burks has no play on anyone. The only thing he could do is keep that double play in order by throwing the ball to second base. Runners now at the corners. One out for Pasqua.
Danny 1 for 3, had a double and a run scored back in the second. Breaking ball, misses. Outfield punched a bit, 7-4. Sox right back in this ball game. There goes Calderon. Pena throwing through. They get him. Calderon doesn't like it. As Rick Reed. Here comes Jeff. Jeff saying he was coming up when he put the ball on him.
Well, it appeared that way. It looked like a pop-up slide there by Calderon. Now let's take a center field look at it. Reardon didn't even check him. There you see another breaking ball. And Pena with a gun. Good solid throw.
He's safe.
Yep. Oh, that's a big call. You know, it was a slow slide, though. He really didn't get that slide moving. He didn't pop in there quickly. It was like kind of a stand-up type thing, but he was still safe. But it may have given the umpire a different perspective of it. He called him out. That's a big out because that takes away that run at third base. The Pasqua's got to drive him in now with a base hit. Could have two runners in scoring position as a result also.
2-1 the count. Another fastball and count evens at 2. At least they have a shot now, though.
Yeah. In the ball game, aggressive base running there. Reardon paid no attention to Calderon. Ooh, just misses inside.
Breaking ball, and Reardon wanted that one. That's ball 4. So that'll bring up Ron Karkovice, who came in top half of this inning defensively for Carlton Fisk. Pudge had 3 good at-bats tonight. He had an RBI single in the second. Even though he struck out in the 4th, he still had a good at-bat there. And then he hit a rocket in the 6th inning that Ellis Burks couldn't make the play on. There's a curveball strike. He just missed it. He just missed it. High to left field. Greenwell giving chase. Foul territory, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But the Sox climb right back into it, scoring 3 times on 4 hits, no errors, 2 men left, and after 7, it's 7-4 Boston.
Top half of the 8th inning here at Comiskey Park, turning into a barn burner here. 7-4 Red Sox over the White Sox. Got some changes for Chicago. Darryl Boston remains in the game and plays right field. And the new pitcher, the Pope. From Evergreen Park, Don Paul. No record, 3.60 is his earned run average. He's appearing in his 4th ball game tonight. 5 innings pitched. He's given up 4 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. His last appearance was on the 15th against Cleveland, where he worked an inning and a third, gave up 1 hit. Don has a major league fastball that will sink, throws a slider, but his out pitch is that good split finger.
And the line on Roger Clemens, 6 1/3, 4 runs earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. And here's the designated hitter, Dwight Evans, 38-year-old veteran. Dwight is 0 for 2 tonight. He had a walk with the bases loaded back in the 3rd. And picked up his 8th RBI of the season. And as we talked about Tom Paciorek, it's still, I don't care. I'm just glad to see Clemens gone. Now we got a shot.
Yeah. Of course, you got Reardon and Murphy and Big Lee Smith in that Boston bullpen.
Nothing against them. Nothing against them, because they are 3 good pitchers. But I'm just glad to see Clemens gone.
Well, Don Paul's job right here is to keep this game in perspective for the White Sox. Come back with 3. They can do it.
2-1. Little comebacker. Check swing. And that's out number 1. Whoa.
And the White Sox hope to keep the Cleveland Indians low on that totem pole Friday at 9:30 as they do battle at Cleveland Municipal Stadium immediately following the Bulls-Celtic basketball games. Catch it at 9:30 on a delayed basis. The Indians against the Sox, only on Sports Channel.
Mike Rochford on the right, and Dana Kicker. Carlos Quintana came on back in the 6th inning to hit for Billy Joe Robidoux, drew a walk. Two and 0 the count. Sox took the lead back in the 2nd inning. 3 consecutive hits. RBI single by Pudge knocked in Pasqua. Red Sox came back with 6 runs in the top of the 3rd, 3 of them unearned. They added another in the 7th, and then the Sox picking up 3 more in the bottom of the 7th to make it what it is right now, 7-4.
Sox now out hitting the Red Sox, 8-7.
In case you're watching Cincinnati, they're leading San Diego 10-7 in the bottom of the 7th at Riverfront.
Cincinnati is in one of those grooves right now, Hawk, and you know it because of being on teams that have won a lot of games consecutively. When you're in that groove, you just don't think you can lose.
That's hit hard. Deep left center. Johnson on his horse. There, makes the catch. Yep, you get in that rhythm, and it's that psyche that's involved. And when you get in your automobile to come to the park that day, you just know you're going to win.
That's true.
And that's the greatest feeling in all of sports.
Well, you remember in '83 here, we used to come to the ballpark, especially at Comiskey, and we knew we were going to win. I think we won 17 or 18 home games in a row. And when we lost the next one, we couldn't believe it.
That's right.
You can't believe you lost.
And the best streak, I think, at one time there was 18 out of 21 as Pena turns it loose. He's 2 for 3 tonight, a couple RBIs and a run scored. But that is just a great feeling. You just know, if you're a hitter, you just know that you're going to get a base hit to knock in the big run. If you're a pitcher, you know you're going to do the job that night. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and if you don't, you're shocked. You know, you don't feel real bad. You just can't believe it didn't happen.
0-2 the count.
Well, you're right on that last swing by Karkovice. That was a 3-run homer swing.
He just
took.
missed it. What a great swing he made of it.
He put a good rip on that one and just came up empty.
Of course, he was a total reclamation project of Walter Reniak. Probably, as that's hit. 2-hopper Robin. Long peg over to Walker. And that'll do it. Don Paul, 1-2-3 inning. They'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing Boston 7-4.
Rob Murphy in the rotating pitching game tonight. Murphy comes on to work. Jeff Reardon works 2/3 of an inning. Murphy, there are his numbers: 0-1, 5.14 earned run average. This is his 6th appearance on the young season. 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Of course, Murphy's the guy that gave up the Ron Kittle home run last night. Worked an inning and a third. Gave up the 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 1. So he's on here in the 8th, and the White Sox hoping to make a charge here. We've got Robin Ventura, the leadoff man. I think we will have a pinch hitter for Darryl Boston, and apparently Dave Gallagher on the on-deck circle, and Ozzie Guillen. So Joe Morgan playing the percentages here, Hawk, bringing in the lefty to pitch to the left-handed hitters.
So Gallagher to hit for Walker. You know, you don't think these managers are freewheeling. You don't think these managers are freewheeling these rosters now. This is a 17th pitcher to be used in last night's game and tonight's in 2 games.
You wonder if they'd be doing that with a 24-man roster.
No,
I doubt it. No way.
But they've got them so they can use them. Here's Gallagher. Walker tonight was 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 2nd inning.
And if you're wondering why you wouldn't use a Carlos Martinez in this situation, who would obviously go in to play first base, is that Dave Gallagher's been a leadoff hitter for a great part of his career, and his job right now is to get on base.
That plus the fact that you might want to save Carlos in another similar situation, maybe next inning, or when you got to have a dinger.
We got the big man from Gary there too.
There's Carlos.
For just that job, should the opportunity arise.
7-4, Boston on top. That's popped up. Is it going to go out of play? Yes. About 4 rows back. And the count 0-2. As a reminder, Sunday, May 20th will be Boy Scout Day right here at Comiskey Park when the Sox battle the Tigers at 1:35. So for more information and tickets, just call the Chicagoland Boy Scout Council at 312-559-0990. Cubs beat the Mets 8-5 at Shea Stadium. Pittsburgh shut out St. Louis shut out Pittsburgh 3-0. John Tudor, I assume, was the pitcher of record. Philadelphia beat Montreal 4-3. Houston leading Atlanta 9-5. That's in the bottom of the 7th and at the Astrodome. There you see Maddox 2-0. Cincinnati leading San Diego 10-7. Ooh, no. Got him. Let's see, 10th Red Sox strikeout tonight.
Well, you don't see Gallagher chase that high fastball that often. Of course, he doesn't have that many plate appearances. Murphy's got a good one. There it is. Oh, my, that's around the neck.
Nice round of applause for Robin Ventura, who hit his first major league home run last inning off Roger Clemens. Takes a strike.
One thing you like about Robin Ventura, he really doesn't vary from righties to lefties pitching against him. He hangs right in there against tough left-handed pitchers, and that's going to get him a few extra hits as his career goes on. Ooh, there's 2 nasty pitches low and away on the knees.
I think this is the first time all year that I can recall Robin being down 0-2.
Yeah.
No, second time. There was another time. I can only recall who it was against, but it was another time.
Oh, wow.
Murphy just coming on out smoking.
Like he might have cut this one a bit. He might still be seething from that home run last night from Kitty. A little bit of a hard slider. Look at it. See, Robin opened that belly button just a tad too early. Watch right here. He's open. He's gone. Tough pitch.
Boy, that was a hard slider.
Yep.
Here's Carlos hitting for Boston.
Isn't it amazing, Hawk, how you see anytime that belly button, you see that belly button from the center field camera, it's a bad swing. If it's not closed, if that hip's not closed.
There's a base hit in the right field. So Carlos going right with the pitch, shoots it out there in the right. And that'll bring up Ozzie.
He didn't mess around right there. Good solid contact right there. Carlos Martinez hitting 091 coming into that at bat. Really hadn't caught a break all year. It's good to see him get a base hit. Get that confidence level back high.
And also, it's an important base hit for the reason that you're going to be able to go to the top of the order to get to the middle of the order so you can maybe do some damage as Bill Fisher comes out there.
Well, the Sox have got a predominantly left-handed lineup, and that's why Murphy is in there. Now if the Torborg, say this inning or next inning, decides to go to a big right-handed bat, Joe Morgan can always counter with this guy right there, Big Lee Smith, to come in and get the right-handers.
Oh, Terry.
He's been around a few years.
Yeah.
He was in the minor leagues. I was with him in the
He's a good man.
PCL. Yes,
Terry's
he is.
a good man. This is a good crew.
We haven't seen our good friend Ken Kaiser yet. That's always fun watching Ken. He's just showing himself.
Oh. I like to see him when he's down there. I don't like to see him in those elevators. He's always trying to squeeze your head off. As Ozzie steps in, he's 2 for 3.
Oh, no.
Luke going out into center field. That's a base hit. He's 3 for 4. Martinez holding. So now the tying run will come to the plate in the person of Lance Johnson. Nice piece of hitting right there by Ozzie.
Well, he hung in there just long enough to get the bat on the ball. Off the end of the bat, that good hard slider, I'll tell you, it's nasty. Murphy's got a good one. And here he comes. Here comes your man from Gary. I don't think Murphy will face Ron Kittle.
No, he will not face Ron Kittle. That big right-hander out in the bullpen. Lee Smith. So we'll see some power against power. And there you see Kitty's roof shots. You know, I saw every one of those. Seen every one of his roof shots. Carteroli back in '83. Mike Wallers, Minnesota back in '83. Nipper. Rozema. Ojeda twice. And then last night, Rob Murphy.
Well, there is the only other guy that can hit the ball on that roof seven times. The guy on the right.
Oh, boy.
That guy on the right had great power.
Boy,
monster power.
Oh, you telling me those ground balls? When he's trying to work out with the Dodgers, he just hit them right through the walls.
That was one of my favorite shows. He had ground balls through the ground.
All right, a pitching change as a big right-hander, Lee Smith, makes his way slowly out to the mound. We'll take a break and be right back with you.
The 1980s and the Chicago White Sox, from the storybook season in 1983 to the end of the decade at historic Comiskey Park, the Chicago White Sox are a team of constant change and excitement. No baseball fan should be without this complete look at the White Sox over the last decade. Watch the power hitting of Harold Baines and Ron Kittle, the defensive wizardry of Ozzie Guillen, the relief pitching excellence of Bobby Thigpen, and standout performances by future Hall of Fame catcher Carlton Fisk. Remember when the Sox won the American League West by a record 20 games? Or Carlton Fisk's 2000th hit? Or Tom Seaver's 300th career victory achieved in a Sox uniform? Don't miss this entertaining look back at the Chicago White Sox in the 80s. Order your favorite year with the White Sox for only $19.95. Catch the memories on tape from the Emmy Award-winning Youth and Experience to 1989's Tale of Two Seasons. To order, send check or money order to White Sox Highlights, P.O. Box 506, Oak Park, Illinois, 60303.
Joe Morgan has had to pull out all the stops tonight. He's got to go with his ace now, Lee Smith. 0-1, he lost the ball game last night. .225 is his earned run average in 5 ball games. 3 saves, 4 innings pitched. He's given up 5 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 3. So, interesting matchup right here, Hawk. Kitty against
strength against strength. Power against power. 2 big men, 2 of the strongest guys in all of baseball. Interesting.
See what he goes with. I'd like to see a low fastball right here. There's Kitty. He's got that batting average up to .286 with the homer and 2 RBIs, swinging it very nicely.
Kitty 2 for 2 last night, a couple of walks, and a double, and of course that monster home run. 7-4, Red Sox on top. There's a base hit into left field. Martinez being waved around as Greenwell will just get it back in, and it's a 7-5 ball game.
Is in the groove. The big cat. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad pitch right there. Lee Smith broke off a slider on the first one, and Kitty was right on it. Let's look at the replay. Look at it. He didn't quite get out there far enough, but Ron Kittle gets those long arms extended, and he rips it. There you see Martinez scoring easily, and the Sox now have the go-ahead run at the plate. Kitty out of the game for pinch runner. 3rd RBI of the season, got that batting average up around 300. Craig Graybeck, the pinch runner.
And Steve Lyons coming out to hit for Scott Fletcher.
Oh my, are these guys pulling out all stops? There might be 54 players in this game.
Been 18 pitchers in 2 days.
Oh, this is fun. Joe Morgan, he's in for a dogfight. These Red Sox came in here thinking pretty good about their chances.
Seven runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Boston. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Sox.
And you got to remember, too, that 2 key players are out of this ball game. Carlton Fisk for the Sox and Wade Boggs for Boston.
Oh, good rip by Steve.
Oh, my. Lyons, a very good fastball hitter. He's 1 for 2, 500 as a pinch hitter. He's a good matchup against Lee Smith.
There's Oz. And Graybeck, good speed on the base pass. Boy, you don't have to have a home run out here. Tweener, get them both home with 2 outs. Another good rip. But he's down 0-2.
And I think he might have to spin a couple right here.
Hit foul. He spun it. And Steve out in front of it. No balls, 2 strikes. Sox trying to come back. Another good rip. Sox trailed at one point 7-1. Going to the bottom of the 7th. It is now the bottom of the 8th, 7-5. Now Smith wants to talk to PENA. What an excellent job by Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Harris, big curveball loosening up for the Sox, the Red Sox down in their pen.
You know, they still have Dennis Lamp down there, too, who's been a reliable relief pitcher over the years. But Lee Smith, their main man right now. Oh,
Checked up. He did not go. Darrell Cousins, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. He got him. That'll do it for the Sox here in the 8th, but they come up with another run on 3 hits. No errors, 2 men left. They got another shot at it. They trail Boston 7-5. You see, our next televised game coming your way will be Friday from Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, where Melito Perez will tee it up against Kevin Burks. And a lot of changes for the Sox here in the top of the 9th inning as they trail Boston 7-5. There's Steve Lyons. He has moved into right field. Moving into center field is Dave Gallagher. There's David. We have a new first baseman in Carlos Martinez. Have a new second baseman in Craig Graybeck. So the Sox defensively in the outfield, Calderon in left, Gallagher in center, Lyons in right. Around the horn, Martinez at first, Graybeck at second, Ozzie the shortstop, Ventura at third in the battery of Ron Karkovice, and there he is, Bobby Thigpen. Bobby with 3 saves already. Jody Reed leading off. Reed 1 for 3 tonight. 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Boston. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Sox. It's 2-0. Bobby, the 19th pitcher used in this brief 2-game series. High into left. Ivan should have no problems. 1 gone.
well, Figgy actually needs an inning of work here, because with the off day tomorrow, he's got to stay sharp for that series with the Indians. Looking here, Bobby has not pitched since the 15th.
Yeah, you would have seen Thiggy out there probably even the score was still 7-1.
Yeah, for an inning.
Here's Kutcher. There's a base hit in the right field. So Kutcher's 2 for 3. Hit his first homer back in the 7th. That was an upper deck shot. Sox have battled back hard. Trailed, as we mentioned, 7-1 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. They picked up 3 there, 1 in the 8th. They're right back in this ball game. And here's the third baseman, Luis Rivera.
You know, Kutcher has really become a key player.